Hello, hello.
Hey, what's up?
What up, dude? How you doing?
I'm pretty good, man. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. We just ended up playing a game just before this. So, like, luckily, I actually kind of lost track of time for a second there. So luckily, the game ended because
Oh, that's all good.
I would have felt bad if I made you wait.
No worries. I was a little late too.
But yeah, dude, I'm doing pretty good. Ready for some coaching.
Yeah. So I seen some of your videos. I'm not sure exactly what the best way is to go about. So I'll
Yeah,
just kind of let you lead and
no
pretty
worries.
much
Yeah.
just follow.
So this is what I always say to everybody. If you ever have a question or if you ever have like a point you want to make and you don't want to lose your train of thought, you are more than welcome at any point in time to interrupt me and just talk over me and be like, "Vibe, I want to know this," and then I'll happily just stop talking and listen to you and I'll answer your question. And for setting up everything in here, you don't really have to have like a format where it's like, oh, I need replays or I need this or that. Basically, the point is obviously just to make you better at the game. So if you just give me an idea of where you're at in the game, like just give me like a breakdown of like what league you're in and what race you are and the generalized like play style you like to go for and whatever. I would also say probably focus on one matchup because if you
Hmm.
focus on all three, it's going to be really like it's hard to cover that in 1 hour and it's going to be so much shit going in and out of your ear all at once and you're going to be like, oh my
Yeah.
god. Uh, but if we focus on one, you're probably the one matchup you want to focus on the most, and then go from there. This will become a VOD as well after that. I'll send you. I'll like link it to you on Discord by probably like tomorrow, and then yeah, you can always rewatch it and shit.
Yeah. Sweet.
So
Uh,
yeah, just let me know where you're at. Let's go from there.
yeah, sure. So I'm a Terran player. I just recently got into Diamond not too long ago. MMR is around 3400, and my worst matchup I would say is probably TvT. But I mean, they're all kind of struggling, but I think TVT is going to be my worst. Like, it's like no matter how far I'm ahead, sometimes I always get caught out of position. It seems to happen over and over again.
Yeah.
So I would say that's the biggest thing for me.
So TVT, uh, a lot of times it's really just being meticulous. Like I would say this: if you have a build order that's just like safe, solid, and defensive, if you don't want to play like an all-in playstyle,
Hmm.
that opener could be something along the lines of like you could open with like a 1-1-1 into a defensive Cyclone Raven, and then switch that into like Tank Marine Medevac, and we can like talk more from there. Like already so far, does that sound like a style you would like to play in TVT? Like
Yeah, I mean, I'm open to everything.
yeah,
So I'll give you a little background. So I just started again like about a month ago
yeah,
ish. So I didn't know what I was doing, and then my buddy sent me a link of your Terran to GM. So I've been watching that like over and over again.
yeah.
So a lot of my styles is based off what you've been showing on YouTube.
Okay,
So like for Zerg and Protoss, for example, it's like Hellion Cyclone. For Terran, it's pretty much just trying to macro and then figure out like the best position for your tanks and all that. So
yeah.
a little familiar for what you do, and I prefer that style. So I'm open to whatever you have open.
Okay. So well, I'll say this. This is my opinion on it for like just in general, like getting comfortable with TVT, and it would be a lot of times I do like three command center builds. I think they're nice, but I think it's really also difficult to be in a good position defensively if you're being like a little too greedy. It means you're like stretching yourself a little too thin, and it's really hard to make
Mhm.
it work. So I think best thing we could do for you just to get comfortable doing more styles like this at like a higher level would be working on like your map scouting, your map awareness. You have to always do this in TVT. It's very demanding. Like you have to just constantly like send a marine out, send a marine out, send a marine out, and always have like the sides checked. I feel like because if you don't
Mhm.
do this, random tank pushes can hit you, like where they just siege up on the side of your base, and you're once they're sieged, it's a fucking nightmare to deal with. And
Yeah, it is.
or like a doom drop, something like that would, that sucks as well if like you just don't even know what's happening. And then it'll be more or less like a two base focus where like when you actually go for your timing, then you can take a third, rather than taking a third and playing defensive and then doing a three base timing, which is usually going to put you on defense because if your opponent also goes for a two base timing, you'll always end up being on defense. And being on defense in TVT is fucking hard. It's
Wow. Yeah.
it's much easier to be aggressive in TVT than it is to be defensive because then you make their problems at their base rather than yours.
Okay. Yeah, that makes so much sense. I've been doing like the three, trying to get it up, and then once I get it up, I'll go. But I seem to always get caught or like get attacked before then, and
Yeah.
then yeah, my defense is pretty much shit. So
So Okay, so there's a few ways we can do this. If you don't have anything, like if you don't have a replay or anything you want to look at, which is totally fine, we could just do something. We could make something for you right now.
Yeah, so
Like,
that.
okay. So for what we could do, could be I could show you a build. We could talk about it really fast, and then we could play. Um, maybe I get someone from the stream, or maybe just like you and me, if we just want to do it faster. Where like I'll try to like do something we explained, and then see how you go with it, or something like that.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. So, are you on? Are you online right now on StarCraft?
Here, let me hop on right now.
Okay.
Give me a minute.
Sure. No worries. And then just let me know when you're on, and then I can tell you how to quickly send me a message. But yeah, it'll basically the build. It'll just be really good about not letting yourself die to random shit like you're not gonna die to like a random banshee with cloak, or you're not gonna die to a random guy who just somehow warps a PC in your base, or some shit like that. Or it'll also help a lot with tank pushes, because the early Raven is actually incredibly useful in so many different scenarios. I don't think you need to use it all game. It's never a bad unit. I'll just say that right now, but it's a little bit more tedious to like keep making them the whole time, because yeah, it's just it also kind of fucks your micro up a little bit if like you're not comfortable using multiple control groups. So yeah, I feel like a starting Raven will be good for you. Then maybe just go from there with like standard.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. I've been trying to get Ravens more into my my build order. I need a lot of work on my control groups still,
Yeah,
I think.
exactly. It's rough if you have one control group, you have to like fuck. It always takes priority, so you're not even stimming half the time, and it's just having Ravens might actually make your army micro end up being worse, because it's just too diversified when you're not really prepared for it.
Yeah, for sure. I tried to, like, what do you call it? Disable the tanks in my last game.
Yeah.
And I totally whiffed, and then just try to stem, but then like I over tabbed, so I didn't stem. And I just fucked my army and just died, and
Yeah.
I just like game
And
over.
and yeah, and StarCraft 2 as well, especially in TvT, because everything's fucking ranged in that matchup. Initiation is like 75% of the battle. So like if your initiation of your fight is just awful, like you're never gonna recover and win. Then you're just gonna die.
Oh man, yeah, it makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm on.
Okay.
Yeah. How do I
So
add you?
all you gotta do is in top right, just left click your portrait, your little avatar. It'll open up your profile, and then on the left side hit ladders, and then in the same exact spot you can hit Grandmaster, and then you can scroll down to rank 153, and then you can right click my name and send me a message, and then we'll have a party.
Cool.
Okay, and then now I will. Okay, so right click my name and then just make me party lead really fast, and the top right, and then we're good to go. All right, and then I'll. So the first one, I'll just kind of I'll have you spectate, and then I'll just do an AI, and I'll just give you an idea of what I kind of want you to do.
Okay.
And then after this, we'll go into a 1v1 between us, and yeah, we'll hit it up. Okay.
Cool.
And then yeah, like I said before, feel free to ask me any questions at any point in time about anything that you're not sure of or might not make sense, and I'll try to answer for you.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that.
But basically, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a 2-base build. I'm gonna do a 1/1/1 opener into a. I'll have, honestly, I'm probably gonna make like one Reaper, and I'll just play defensive, and we'll probably use a bunker just to be super defensive about it and not have a chance to die, in case your opponents ever play the build where they go for like Hellion Reaper, which is pretty popular.
Oh yeah. That happened just like not too a few games ago.
Yeah.
Where I built a bunker, but then my placement, I think I need to work on trying to like figure out the best placement for my bunker, because
Sure.
he just kind of walked around it and just killed me, even though I scouted it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, damn. Okay.
Yeah, it sucks. We'll have a really fast Cyclone too with this build, so the Cyclone, even if they do run past your bunker, the Cyclone will help a shitload at killing stuff. And the Cyclone is like amazing at just killing everything early game. Alright, so make my barracks, make my gas. And then we'll go ahead and send our next SCV scout out here. So like pretty much like all in 17 supply. So your 17th, or rather your 16th SCV, because 17's in the command center right now. Just send him out to go scout, just to make sure you're not getting like massively all in by some proxy or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, and then go and take a command center. And if you actually saw nothing of this guy's base, you could still go early CC. It's just you would want to build on the high ground, and then you definitely want to get some fucking bunkers going. And if you saw no gas and no base at his base, basically, it'd probably be like a proxy 4-rax or some shit like that. But if you did see gas and there's nothing there, it could either be proxy Reaper or proxy Marauder, most likely.
Yeah, I've seen those a few times.
Yeah. And now, with this SCV that comes back, you could just throw down a bunker literally, like right now. So it's relatively quick bunker. And behind this, we can throw down our next depot and then our factory. And you'll make a reactor now after you make one Marine. So the one Marine can just sit in the bunker and chill. Until you start making more. And then do whatever you can with the Reaper. You know, if you feel like multitasking it really hard, this Reaper has potential. Just definitely try not to lose it. Be a bit more on the passive side than on the aggressive side, I would say, because you're not making more of them. But yeah, just make sure you don't overcommit and lose the Reaper. That's the big one.
Mm-hmm.
If you can help it. All right, then we'll have you build as soon as the command center is done. Just go and throw down like a third gas at your natural.
Continue doing what you doing. Appreciate the stream always.
Yo, actually, make it much love, man. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. We can start making more Marines with our racks. We can fill in our gas. And then we'll just gradually fill up this gas at the natural. And this will allow us to be able to afford a Raven really fast and just keep constant tank production going for a while. So now we have the Cyclone started. And then here's the interesting trick you can do too. So at this point now, I would say it'd be a good idea to throw down like 2 extra barracks. And what you could do as well is you can swap your factory
Here
over.
for some more 2v2 Drebby shenanigans. Smile.
Thank you, dude. Much love. Thank you, thank you. You can. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna swap over. So now we made a cycle with the Tech Lab factory. We're done with the Tech Lab factory just for a moment. And now we're gonna switch over to making the factory make a reactor so we can set up more Marines here pretty fast. So we can just start ramping up our bio production early. So now we have 3 racks, 1 starport, 1 factory. Okay, and then we can throw down. We can swap over one of the racks to the factory. We can throw down another tech lab. We can put the tech lab back on the factory. That'd be fine. And then now you can make your final reactor on your starport. So ideally, the goal at the end of all of it is going to be double reactor, tech lab, barracks, tech lab factory, reactor, starport. But we put a priority on our racks here, so our bio production is just fucking insane already. So this is gonna help a lot when you have to deal with timings and things like this, of anything that's gonna hit you early. And then now I would say, now that you're getting into the realm of you're getting ready to want to push here pretty soon, because as soon as you have stim, it'd be totally fine to go. You can start getting ready to split your bio around the map and seeing what you can see essentially. Okay, we can back up behind the bunker.
So in this case, how would you defend against like a Reaper who's just gonna go around the bunker and hop into your base?
You would have killed it with a Cyclone. Like, so if you have a Reaper early too, you can deal one Reaper with one Reaper, and that Reaper will. That's why you don't want to let it die, ideally, because it's kind of important early game. But if your opponent like jumps in your main, if they wait until they have like 3 Reapers or something, by then you should already have a Cyclone. Cyclone comes out super fast with this build, and one Cyclone will beat the shit out of 3 Reapers, no problem. If it was like that much.
Got it.
And then now, this is how kind of how you'd want to do it. You'd want to just be like, you want to probably get out of the habit if you're already in it to stop selecting all army if you can, because it really fucks up your scouting potential with Terran when you do this kind of stuff. But you want notice how I'm like sending out a couple Marines like here and there, like all over the place. You definitely want to, I would say, spread your dudes out around, and just to make sure you're not getting pushed by something random. You could even scan your opponent's natural, and let's just say you see he's still there, or if he just lost an army, you can take your army and you can push, and you can just go for it. And the easiest way to control group your army, I would say, is you could just have your whole army in like one control group, except for your Raven. Try to put that in a different control group, because if Raven's in main army, it's gonna fuck everything up pretty bad. And then we can just go for it. And now at this point, it would just be, how can you set up a best fight? So let's just say, hypothetically, your opponent was like where he is right now. Let's say he's all over the front of,
Tell Andy
of
not
the base.
to get supply blocked. It's going to happen. Ravon.
Let's just say hypothetically he's like in the front of his base and he's, you know, he's guarding really well right there. You could literally just do something like this, where you just like siege your tanks in the low ground right here, and you start pushing into the main base with like an elevator. Like any way you can set up an attack is great, because you know it's super fucking hard to deal with this shit once it starts getting into a position that's like super underlined, just like this. And now suddenly you have this like awkward engagement for your opponent that is much harder to deal with. So I mean, what it does is it gives you the ability to be having aggression. So aggression is always key in TvT. And then behind this, notice how so I'm gonna pause it really fast and just say this. So behind this attack, like right as we moved out, as soon as my money started ramping up a little bit, I threw down a command center. And now that I threw down a command center, if my money ramps up again, the next thing I'm going to throw down off of having 3 racks, 1 factory, 1 starport will be another 2 racks, an armory, and if I still have extra money, you can throw down even a second factory. So we can go from 3-1-1 to 5-2-1, if that makes sense.
Yeah, okay.
So it'll just give you crazy fucking tank production, and then lots of bio production. And then once your third's done, once you like your third is like starting to be saturated, you could even throw down a 4th base if you have enough money to afford that. Just like keep throwing down 1 base at a time, essentially.
Okay. Sounds good.
And the biggest thing about this build that's going to be hard to remember or hard to keep track of is once you do that whole add-on swap thing we did, because you open up, so just keep this in mind, okay? This is the add-on swapping and the depot production timings are the hardest things to like get used to, I feel like. The build is 1-1-1 to start. We make Reaper, then Marine, then Reactor on Barracks. We make immediate Tech Lab on Factory. And we don't make anything on the starport at first. We swap the starport with the factory after we make the Cyclone. And then after that, so all you do is you make 1 reactor, 1 tech lab so far with the 1-1-1. But then once you swap over the Raven to the factory, once you have a Cyclone out, so the barracks is still just pumping Marines the whole time. It literally never gets off the reactor. But then once the factory lifts off, it lets the starport land on the tech lab. Factory lands, makes a reactor, and at that moment you're also making 2 more barracks. So then, okay. And then what happens then is once those next 2 barracks you finished, once they just finish, you swap again. The factory once again then lifts off because they're going to give that reactor to a barracks, and then your second barracks that finished makes a tech lab, and then you lift off the starport again, and you can put the starport on a new place to make a reactor itself. And the factory goes back to the tech lab to make tanks now. Does that make sense? Like I feel it's a little confusing to do add-on swapping, but the idea is you want to get a Raven, you want to get a Cyclone, you want to make reactors in the meantime while you're waiting for the other 2 racks to start, or rather to finish, and then all at the same time you pretty much have your double tech lab reactor barracks and your tech lab factory all done, and the starport with reactor finishes a little bit later. And the reason why that happens is because tech labs make way faster than starports do. So, or sorry, tech labs make way faster than reactors do. So if the last thing you're making is a reactor starport, that's totally fine because you cannot afford a reactor starport right away anyways. It's too expensive. But by the time the last thing comes online, which is your starport, you already have a lot of SCVs which can actually afford it now.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's what I've been kind of doing wrong. I've been making my reactor way too fast on my starport, and I'm just like don't have enough minerals or gas
Exactly.
for like
Yeah.
double Vikings.
Like if you'll be like, okay, I want to make medevacs or I want to make Vikings. Oh, now I can't make a tank or I can't make stim pack. I gotta wait on that shit. It's way too much gas. And then lastly, keep in mind too, the SCV, the supply depot production is going to be like kind of like a decent pace up until all 5 of your buildings are ready to start pumping, and then you got to make depots way faster. Like your supply is going to start exploding really quickly, right around like probably 60, 70 supply, right around 60 supply ish, because that's roughly around when like all your add-ons are going to start coming online realistically for like all your buildings. And then your supply is going to start ramping super fast. So if you only have like 1 or 2 SCVs building depots before that, you're going to probably need to like double that to like maybe like 3 or 4 SCVs.
Okay.
Like you're going to feel like you get supply blocked a lot otherwise. And then the last thing is you don't throw down your engineering bays until after you have all your add-ons set up on all your buildings. Then you can throw down your engineering bays because you won't really be able to afford it before that. It's hard to squeeze it in. And the whole point of this build is you're making a Raven anyway, so you don't need fast turrets because the Raven gives you detection. So but you do add in the Engi bays like right after your starport's done essentially, and you make like the medevacs out of it. Then you make Engi bays for that, and then you make the command center after, and it just goes from there.
Okay, makes sense.
Okay, so you feel good?
Or
Or
I feel all right.
as good as you can, I guess.
Yeah, good. I definitely have to watch the replay a couple times, but yeah, I think give it a go.
Okay, so let's go and get out of that, and we'll jump into a 1v1 of our own, I guess. Or I actually, Drewby, are you still there? Do you want to play? I can have you play my buddy Drewby, and I could watch your build and see what you're doing.
Yeah.
Oh, Drewby's here. He's here.
Made it to Platinum 2 weeks after watching B2GM Terran series.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Japumba. Thank you. And Ravenstar SX. Thank you very much, guys, for all the support. Appreciate you guys. All right, so Andy, go ahead and jump out of the game, and I'll host up a new one here.
ViBE, tell him to keep making SCVs.
Raven, thank you so much, man. I appreciate the 5. All right, so I'm gonna throw up a game here, and I'll get your opponent. Can you actually? Or never mind. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I see you. For some reason, I thought we were in a party, but we are, so we're good. I'm losing my shit. All right, and then if you have any questions, just ask me, because I actually want to watch instead of play, so it makes it easier for you. So I can just like be kind of like your guide essentially.
Okay.
So again, the overall game plan you should be having here is get yourself as fast as you can to hitting this 2 base timing. Like the faster the better. Oh, and then on top of that, every single time when you're almost ready to move out, when you think to yourself, well, probably in the next like 30 seconds, I'm going to move out. It is super important to grab probably like 4 Marines, okay? And send them like 1 to the top right, 1 to the bottom left, or whatever spawn location you're on. Have them go to like the edges of the map on the sides of your base, just in case your opponent's doing like a wide wraparound to your base, because you don't want to be out of position and then suddenly you're mid map and they're sieging your natural and you're like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
And then have another couple Marines go forward, however many paths there are. So 1, 2, maybe 3. Have those Marines go out in the middle just so they can be your guide to show you when you walk your whole army out. The last thing you ever want to do in a TvT is walk your whole clump of Marines together with nothing in front, no vision in front of you, because if you do that, you're very liable to walk into a tank line and die.
Yeah, that's like the first thing I do.
Okay, good. All right, so you guys ready? Are you ready, Andy?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. Alright, Drewby's always ready. Let's do this. Yo, Armageddon, sorry, I would have invited you too, but I just decided to get Drewby. I think Drewby's more appropriate as well right now for the level. Or kinda. Drewby, don't go crazy. ViBE, you have Discord notification sounds on? It's the guy I'm coaching right now. It's not me. It's his mic. I can't. It's Andy. My boy Andy. What league is this? This is a Diamond League. Alright, dude. Things are looking perfect so far. You fucking crushing the build. you made that racks and that gas. Hell yeah.
After like 2 minutes, it goes to shit.
Yeah, it's all good. No, your scout was good though. A lot of people actually forget the scout, myself included, honestly, half the time. It's pretty bad. But good shit. Always make sure you're doing that. It's super important. Okay, so nice. You see nothing that looks super cheesy. And then if you get stuck like this and your SCV cannot come home, just have your next built SCV come down. Just rally the new SCV you build down to the natural and have it build a bunker instead. If this ends up happening to you. I'm kind of glad he blocked you in. That way you kind of have a good idea of when you should do it. So you're not doing it way too fast. And then don't forget to make a marine. And so now go ahead and start a depot as well. And then a factory.
We have been telling Andy to mute his Discord for a month. Sorry.
No, you're all good. I don't mind. Your bunker placement's pretty good. Also, don't forget to make a reactor on that racks as soon as the marine's out. There you go. Perfect. And then throw down your other gas. Perfect. So the gas will be thrown down always after the factory as soon as you can afford it while trying to maintain SCV production.
All right. Do you keep the Reaper on the high ground?
You can scout with it if you want to. Now that you know he's not all-inning you, it's totally fine to scout with it if you want to. But if you want to keep it defensive, you can do that too. That's fine. It's just kind of nice when you do scout with it though, or if you want to keep it defensive, you should definitely scout with it then once you have a cyclone. Either way, that way you don't have to burn a scan. And then don't forget, it's very important to make a tech lab on the factory as soon as you have it, and then a starport. And then take your gas. Perfect, you did. Okay, good. So you took your gas at your natural, and then fill your gases in with just new SUVs. At your natural specifically. Then you can make. Don't forget to make that cyclone as soon as you can. And then keep making those marines. And then as soon as that cyclone's done, you can lift it off and then get ready to put the starboard on it.
Right.
And then make sure make sure you're filling in the gas with your SUVs at your natural. You have 1 mining minerals. You just want to fill it up to 3. It's ASAP. All right, perfect. Because you're gonna not be able to afford the Raven otherwise. And then Raven on the tech lab. Now throw down 2 more racks right now, as well, while you make the Raven. And don't forget to make depots. And then make sure you fill in that gas again on your main base.
Oh, what? I did that.
It's all good, no worries. And then just keep trying to produce. And now this is when, in about the next like 30 seconds, your supply is gonna start fucking skyrocketing. So you're gonna need to start probably like within the next 30 seconds, you're gonna have to start making depots at a much faster pace. And then also don't forget to put 4 Marines in that bunker, and just in general in your own games in the future. That way you're not going to get fucked by if someone pushes the front of your base with like Hellion Reaper. And then what you'd want to do now is you want to, yeah, the SCVs are getting a little roasted, so I would say deal with that first. The things are falling apart. I'm gonna pause it just for a second. Or I actually can't pause it. You can you can pause the game for a second if you need to, just for a second, so I can.
Okay. How do I do this? All right.
Okay, cool. Just because I don't wanna panic you while the micro's happening, but essentially.
Too late.
No, yeah, it's okay. It's totally fine. We can do a regame if you'd like, and we'll try again. But so when you finish the Raven, I know like things kind of went out the window because you're dealing with fucking a Reaper in your natural and also Hellion drop in your main, and it's getting a little crazy. But you'd want to put the starport on a new built reactor. You'd want to dump it off on a new place to start its own new reactor, and you'd want to put but the factory would want to be on the tech lab.
Okay, gotcha.
And then you'd want to have the third racks make a new tech lab as well. So you'd still at this point have a new tech lab and a new reactor starting on your third racks and your starport.
Okay, and then you do stim first, and then
yes, and then you would just be making Marines and tanks and medevacs.
Okay.
And then another thing too that I didn't really cover very much, but another thing I would highly recommend is to avoid shit like this happening in the future as well. When you make your first few depots, probably make a couple of your depots on the edges of your base to a degree, like maybe like top right, middle right, bottom right of your main, and then bottom left of your natural. That way you can actually see if a medevac drops inside of your main like that. So you have a moment to react to it before it runs in your mineral line. And it takes nothing other than where you put the depot, essentially.
Okay, yeah.
All right. Yeah, I would say honestly, like that Hellion attack just fucked you pretty bad. So I would say let's bounce out of this game and just do a restart and just give you a fresh one because it's gonna suck otherwise for you. But overall, pretty good. It's mostly correct, and I feel like you would have had it correct as well if it wasn't distracting with the attack. All right.
Cool.
All right. Good to go.
Yep.
All right. Okay, so we'll do this time. We'll do everything the same as what you just did before, but we'll do after depot 2. So when you make depot 3, 4, 5, try to make those on the edge of like your main base, so you can spot for random crap like that.
Got it.
So I'll kind of walk you through the build this time too, just to keep any reminders, because I know that the fucking like. Even me, like, playing Terran, sometimes the add-on swapping is like, wait, what the fuck is it again? Like, it's fucking super awkward.
Yeah, sometimes I put it down and, like, it won't be exactly on top of it, and I have to, like,
Yeah, that's what happened.
like, crap.
That's what happened to Factory last game. It's all good. All right, and then take a gas. Perfect. Then rally the SCV to his base. Perfect.
Oh, yeah.
All right, this time.
ViBE, you 7 months ago you rallied your SCV straight into my heart.
Thank you, Vlad. Much love, dude. And also thank you, Bright Lights. This time we'll honestly just make a Reaper, but we'll just keep you defensive with it this time, just to make it like less confusing and less like shit going on.
Okay.
So then get ready to take your command center and your reactor. Good. And if he blocks you like that, I would say just build around it. And then your Reaper can just kill it. And if you have to, you can halt it and run it away for a second. But yeah, you can just always lift and land this in a second. And then make a second depot right now, as soon as you can afford it.
This guy builds a bunker, right?
I'll just say this: build a bunker at like 2:30. This is a bit early. So because the scouting sometimes might be different, and when you get in and out, I would say 2:30 is great bunker timing. And then start a reactor, and then so basically right after the reactor, build a bunker. So now you can take an SV, build it back down, and then build a bunker. Perfect. And then your second gas is started. Perfect. Keep making SCVs. And then get ready to start making Marines here in just very momentarily. And then I would say as well, don't lift the command center right away. Make it a, just mine the closest patch. It's going to be still pretty good. But make them orbital right away because you want to generate that energy as soon as possible. And then lift it when it's an orbital. It would only make sense to lift it if you had a full mineral line that needed to be like saturated there, but you don't have that yet. Or yeah, build the gas too. You had that correct as well. My bad. Okay, so keep making SCVs. And then rally that barracks to the bunker for a second here. And you can load up that bunker. And then now make a cyclone. And your Reaper can go into the main and defend that Reaper. Keep making Marines. You can restart that starport with a new SCV. As soon as the cyclone pops, just send your Reaper into his base so you can scout what tech he's going for. And now you can swap over your command center at your natural to put it in the right spot. Make sure you put your now I would say put your command center in the right spot at the natural instead of building SCVs. Just because now that it's an orbital, now you're at least generating energy while you're floating around. There you go, perfect. And just keep dropping those meals. And so on and so on. Make that Raven, perfect, perfect. Throw down 2 extra racks as soon as you can afford it.
Oh, yeah.
And put them also really close. Or put at least one of them really close to your factory because you're going to swap it onto it.
Alright.
One more rack still. Your depot placement's great. It's perfect. And then remember, as soon as your factory's done, lift it. And as soon as your starport's done with the Raven, lift both of them. Swap the factory onto the tech lab. Make a new reactor with the. So wait, yeah. Oh, there you go. Bring the. Oh, okay, you're getting attacked. You can do this first. Just unload your bunker and send everything back up. And keep making SCVs during the process. Okay, he left. So now, factory tech lab, starport lift off. Make a new reactor somewhere else. No. Factory on the existing tech. Oh, it's okay. Don't cancel it. It's okay. Now what you want to do is you want to put the barracks on the tech lab that exists already. You could do this too. This would be fine. But just make sure you get a new SCV building the barracks because the SCV got killed. There you go. Perfect. And then now, yeah, then you'll swap that last racks onto the final reactor. What you just did works as well, by the way. You can still go new if you want. If that makes it easier. If you want to just do both factory starport making new add-ons, that does work.
Okay.
And then just try to keep up production now during this whole bullshit process of attack that's happening to you. And I would say probably lower the depot in your main too so it stops fucking you over with pathing. There you go. And then just keep making SCVs. I know it's annoying, but as long as you keep making SCVs, it's not that bad. And now as well, you need to probably just make some more depots. And this is when it explodes. This is the hardest part about TvT. Where it's just like fucking dealing with everything. And don't forget your Cyclone too. He's super useful at killing the medevac.
Where'd he go?
He's in top right of your base. Alright, so I would say definitely just get some more depots going. You can even, if you run into a problem like this, you can even drop some supply on a couple of them. Probably the ones next to your racks on the ramp. So they're less likely to die. If you want to drop the supply from the command center. And then, yeah, just try your best to like keep producing out of those racks, the factory, the starport. And as soon as you get, yeah, I was gonna say, as soon as you have full production and you have more money than you can spend, that's when you want to make a command center.
All right.
And then after you again have a lot of money that you can't spend, that's when you make double NG Bay for upgrades.
So like right now, pretty much.
Yeah, you can do it now. It's because you're a little delayed now. So
Okay.
and then just try to keep maintaining production, keep making depots. The depot is gonna go like constantly, fucking super hard. Druby is an asshole with his Hillian drop. You're like, fuck this fucking guy.
Yeah.
And then you gotta fix those NG bays now, unfortunately. And if you ever find yourself in a position too where you feel like you're falling behind there, I feel like you have two choices in TvT. One is you just play super turtly with tanks, and if you're gonna play super turtly, you should start making Vikings. That is an option. So tank Vikings is very good at being turtly. Or if you're gonna keep it making medevacs, go for a doom drop if you're behind. Like what? Because if you just play a standard game, you're probably gonna die. That's
Okay.
You don't have to do it this game if you don't want to, but just keep in mind that's probably what should happen in ladder games for you, because it's really hard to play a TvT from behind if you just play standard.
Okay. So like in this point, I feel like I'm behind. So
Yeah. Now that you're getting attacked, now you just kind of you have a choice: either go base trade him or try and fight it. If you want to fight it, the best way to take it would be disable the tanks and stim back in and go for it.
all right.
It's all good.
Yeah. Yeah.
No worries.
That's,
ViBE,
my
how
typical
much
TvT
for you
games
to
right
crush
there.
Andy in a 1v1 with carriers after his coaching? He really needs help against carriers too.
So in that case, if would you try to fight it in that case, or would you just kind of go around and try a base trade?
So, I would say based off of how, because so like if you think about if the Hellions got in your base one time and did a little bit of damage, and then you got rid of them, I would say you could probably take the fight. But if the Hellions got in your base, did a little bit of damage, lifted up, landed, did a little bit of damage, lifted up, landed, did a little bit of damage, and it happened like 4 times, I would say you probably want a base trade, because I feel like you are fucked then. If like, because it's just each time that did a little bit of damage, you're falling further and further behind, and it just makes it rough essentially to manage it. There's very low chance you're gonna win in that situation. Like when that fight happened, I think you were like 30 supply down or something, and that's just because the Hellions annoyed the shit out of your base for so long. And like, but just keep in mind too, yeah, like the options you have, the biggest one of all, if you get medevac drop like that, is 100% to grab that Cyclone and don't lock onto a Hellion, but instead lock onto that medevac, and it will die so fast.
Okay, so Hellion or medevac first.
Yeah, like if you do, let's just say you selected all army to go defend your main. The best thing you could do is like A move towards him. That's fine. But then as he's in your base, as you're A moving towards him, tell your Cyclone specifically to lock on to the medevac. Just use its ability and click the medevac, and it will just disregard the Hellions at first until the medevac gets locked onto, and then the medevac dies super fast, and the Hellions would no longer get to do damage because they are stuck in your base and they die.
Okay. Is there ever a point where you just kind of leave your Cyclone like patrolling the edges of your base?
You can. I would say it's probably not a bad idea to start with your Cyclone and your Raven in your main base, and then leave your bunker with Marines at it, and your your new tanks and your new bio all reinforcing the back of the bunker in your natural. Because most of the time in TvT, if someone's going to attack you, it's like that early, it's usually always going to be through something in the air that goes towards your main.
Okay. Cool. Makes sense.
Yeah, because the bunker is kind of standalone anyways. It can be repaired, and it's pretty durable early on.
Okay.
All right, so I think your buddy Raven. I think it's your buddy Ravensaurus Rex. Yeah, okay. So he's asking me, and you can tell me however you feel about this. He says he wants me to 1v1 you with carriers because you need help with carriers too. I don't know if you want to do that or if you want to focus on TvT. Either way works for me. I don't mind.
Yeah, we can. I think I'm gonna just practice the TvT.
Sure.
Once it descends. Another thing I do struggle with was like I've been doing the Hellion Cyclone build that you have on your channel.
Yeah.
So I do pretty well with it. But then if I don't do enough damage, and he gets like carriers, and then what do you call it, Tempest, I tend to get fucked after that.
Okay. Okay. So you're going Hellion Cyclone just in general against Protoss all the time.
Yeah, because I try going bio, but man, I freaking suck at it. So I'm like,
Do you want to
try to
really?
make it.
I could give you a really strong, easy form of bio against Protoss that makes it. Like, I'm not gonna say it's like 100% win rate or anything like that because nothing in StarCraft is. But especially for Diamond, I bet it would beat a lot of Protosses.
Okay, yeah, I'm open.
Okay, so I'll show you a build really fast once again, just kind of like last time, and then I can play you, I guess, and we'll see how it goes.
Cool.
All right. Okay. So you're in the game. I will make you a referee. Okay, so this game, what I'm gonna do is, have you ever done a Hellion drop or a Widowmine drop? Just out of curiosity, if we could maybe add this into the build if you have, or if you're comfortable with it. But if not, if it doesn't sound like an idea you want to do, we don't have to.
That used to be I used to do like a 2-base timing once I'm trying to get my Marines out and the medevacs out. So by the time I get to the base, I have stim ready. But before that, I'll do like what do you call it, with a mine drop,
Okay.
And yeah.
Okay. I have an idea for a build for you.
Okay.
This build's gonna be it's gonna be fucking off the chain, dude. It's gonna be crazy. And
Sweet.
you're not gonna have to deal with carriers really. You're just gonna run Protosses over. Oh man. I've seen turns do this on ladder and it's actually substantially annoying to deal with. It's like ridiculous. Basically it's a bit more of a gimmicky form of PvT or TVP rather. It's gonna be something that's more like Marauder Viking focused, but it's super fucking strong.
Man, can't wait.
For like if you're doing it in Diamond League, you're gonna fucking crush with it. And yeah, this build is definitely a build you could like climb into Masters with for sure, and it would even still probably work quite a bit in Masters as well. I'm not gonna say it's 100%, but it has a lot of high potential for just catching people off guard and killing them. Alright, so we'll go ahead and scout.
So in the case, like, say whatever happens, and then he does get carriers, what would be a good
Viking.
Viking?
Yeah, you're gonna have a lot of Viking here, so you just focus fire the carriers.
Focus fire the carriers.
Yeah. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and make a factory and a depot. You know, just for unison, we'll make a depot first. And then we'll make, because we're going command center early as well, so we'll make a depot first, then we'll make a factory. Okay, when we scouted, we'll come back. And then kind of the same thing, probably like a 230 bunker. And this game specifically, we're actually not going to build an add-on for this build on either building for the opener. It's just going to be making units to do a timing with, straight up. And it also increases your chances to not die if someone does some weird early pressure to you, because you'll have a little bit more Marines like right off the bat. But it's mainly for like a drop pressure that we'll be doing in a minute here. Okay, so we'll go and add on another gas now when we make the starport this time. You can throw down a widow mine and like in front of your bunker over here. Make a medevac. Okay, and now we'll go ahead and throw down a third CC here in just a second. And this build is now gonna, this is when you do the timing. You can grab all of your Marines and a Widow Mine, and you can just go to the Protoss' base and see what you can do. And behind this now, we're going to go into a Tech Lab and a Barracks, a Reactor in the Factory, and then a Viking. And we're going to just put the Reactor on the starport, and we're going to make all Tech Lab Barracks. Like, all Tech Lab Barracks. It's going to be fucking crazy. Okay, and you can go ahead and get in the brace and boost. Drop your boys. And any damage you can do is fucking insane. Would be, you know, it's do whatever you can, then get out. Like if that, it looks like you're gonna die, you can just try and save the medevac if possible. And now it would just be literally going up to about 5 racks, 1 starport, and just pumping like crazy of Marauder Viking. And then you can mix in maybe like go up to like 4 medevacs. I would say try to get to like 4 medevac and then just go Marauder Viking. That way you have the ability to heal your army when you stim pack it. We can throw down a couple Inji bays as well so we can actually get our upgrades going. And we're not even using the factory at this point. You don't even need to. Because we just wanted to make the 1 reactor for the starport, and every other Rax is going to get a tech lab, and fuck it. You don't need to really invest into the tech labs on the factory. It's not a big deal. Tech labs build so fast as it is. Now we got 1-1. Land a Viking if we need to. Try and run our boys away. And now our production's starting to explode here again. So this is that same thing as last time,
playing Terran,
where we need to go into lots of depots. Also, thank you very much, Hannah, for the raid. Thank you. Sorry, guys, I'm in the middle of a coaching lesson. And thank you for the sub, Fiosto. Thank you, guys. Much appreciated, everybody. Ah! Alright, and now we got concussive shells. We're still making Vikings.
Somebody get this cat a fish.
Everyone's talking about your cat right now.
You can hear her.
Yeah.
She's always crying in the background.
It's all
It's like
good.
food or something.
Yeah. That's pretty funny. Okay, so now at this point, it would just be, we're going to just do this big fat, like 1-1 timing with Marauder Viking. And you can also take another base. Just as long as you're continuing production on all your racks, that's what we really care about. That's the biggest thing.
New technology researched.
And we're almost to 1-1. We're very close. We could probably honestly get ready to move out right now. Like, our army is fucking beefy. We have Stimpack, we have Concussive Shell, we have Big Boy Marauders, 4 Medevac. We got Vikings coming in right now. Our army is quite strong for just general Protoss builds. Like, how many times do you fight against people who use, like, Colossus and stuff like that? Is it pretty often, would you say?
Yeah, it's pretty often.
Yeah,
Almost.
you're going to destroy them playing like this. So now we can move to their base. And get ready to get in there. And literally all you do is just Stimpack stutter forward. Just stutter step forward, Stimpack, go run Protoss over essentially. It's pretty gimmicky, it's pretty strong. And it has some high kill potential. So you can try it on me. I will do a standard Colossus opener into like fast carriers or something like that, and you can see how it feels against my Protoss, where I'm not gonna like try and hard counter the build and be like, oh, I know what to do here. I'll just play as if I was playing standard, and you can see how it feels. But that's the generic idea of the build, and at least now you have a replay as well. It's just exploding your racks, like it's kind of the same thing again, where you open up 1-1-1, and then you kind of just like explode your racks count after you make whatever your opening is. In the first game, it was the Raven Cyclone, and this game, it's the Marine Widowmine drop.
Okay. So you have 5 barracks?
I have 5.
Or 4?
Yeah. The goal was I went for 5 racks, and then I went for 1 factory, 1 starport. I don't even use the factory. All I did with the factory was I made it to make a starport, and while I was making a starport, I made a reactor on the factory, and then I swapped it over, and I never touched the factory again.
Okay.
And then you make all your other 4 racks as soon as you're as soon as you start your 3rd command center. Your next investment is 4 more barracks to make all tech, like all 5 racks or tech labs. And then from there, if the game continued on, you could make like another 5 racks as you expand more and get more money, and you could make like 5 reactors if you wanted to, or something like that, and you could actually start adding in like Marines to it. This build is mainly for just like a timing of like 1-1 Marauder Viking, and you might just straight up win the game. And if you don't win the game, then you can become a more balanced Terran after that.
Okay.
But it makes bio not feel like bio. It makes bio feel like almost like mech, because Marauders are tanky as fuck.
Alright.
But I would say bio is honestly better than mech against Protoss. Like, speaking from my perspective, if I play a turn who goes bio, or if I play a turn who goes mech, bio is like 10 times harder to deal with. Mech is... Battle mech is okay, but it kind of drops off more and more as you go. And I kind of learned that throughout my process of doing BDGM last year. I was like, okay, mech is starting to feel pretty bad, like, as you get higher.
Okay. Yeah, good thing I know that now.
Yeah. It's like the next time I make a series, I'm definitely not going to go as hard into the mech territory for like Diamond Plus. And it's good against Zerg, super good against Zerg, but against Terran and Protoss, your level of skill, like your level of knowing what the fuck to do, has to go up like exponentially to still win, because mech is so demanding in terms of like, it's not micro demanding at all. It's super easy micro wise, but it's positionally demanding. So you need to like know how to predict your opponent's moves, and that's such a harder thing to do than just to fucking A move and like stutter step for a second. You know what I mean? Like, it's, if you're ever out of position with mech, you just die.
Yeah. So do you send Marines out like to kind of like get map control against TvP?
Later on, yeah, you can, but for the opener of the game, you don't need to.
Cool.
Because you won't be making any. You're only making you're making an initial few Marines for the drop, and they all might die. It's very possible. But if you have any Marines that are left over and they didn't die, you could then send one of those out for a scout. That'd be totally fine. But there's a chance you might not even have any, because once you have that tech lab, you don't want to be making Marines for the opener, because you want to have as many Marauders as possible for your timing attack.
What if they get like a Oracle for like an early harass?
So you'd see that in your drop. Like your early scout could tip you off in terms of like, okay, well, you know, maybe this dude's rushing gas, maybe he's not expanding, maybe he's doing, like, he's not going for a 1 gate expand in the sense of like he only has 1 gas mining and then he's taking a natural. If you see your opponent has double gas mining right off the bat, you could stay more defensive for a moment, but you have to realize you're making Widow Mines and you're making Marines early game anyways, so you can deal with air pressure either way if it rushes you. You just have to keep in mind, if you think they're going to go for like a fast Stargate, maybe put one of your Widow Mines like near your main base.
Okay.
So you could put like your second Widow Mine like in front of your bunker, your natural, and or your first Widow Mine there, and your second Widow Mine could go to the side of your main or some shit.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And then once you have Vikings out too, you'll just kill air as well. All right, so you're good to go?
Good to go.
All right, man. Good luck. Do your best. I would definitely say as well, save those replays of those examples I gave you, so you have at least reference builds to like look at for the future. All right, so I'm gonna do a standard gateway robo opener into Stargate. I'm gonna 3-base it, and we'll see how your timing feels when you show up.
Don't go easy on him, ViBE.
All right, guys. I'll be back in like 10 minutes, and then when I come back, he's gonna do his timing, and we'll see how it goes. And when he kills me, I'll be like, dude, you fucking nailed it. Good job. Yo, Raven Stars, thank you so much for another 5. Appreciate it, man. And I'm not going to talk to him right now because I don't want to distract him. But, you know, Andy, if you're watching the VOD right now and you're listening to this on YouTube, I'll tell you this again in a minute in the coaching lesson. But if you are having problems with carriers and you don't know how to beat carriers, if you just have fully upgraded bio and you either add in some Widow Mines or some Ghost, it's not that hard. It's not that bad to deal with because you can EMP over the top of your Marines with the EMP range upgrade or whatever, the radius upgrade, and you can remove the shields and your bio can just impact down fucking tons of interceptors. And by then you'll have like probably a ton of racks that can make, you know, like 12 racks or some shit that can make a shitload of Marines. Widow Mines also work too. If you have like, let's say 8 Widow Mines with Drilling Claws, you can just like Drilling Claw burrow Widow Mines as soon as the carriers arrive and you just blow up a bunch of the interceptors initially, and Marines again also just finish off the remainder. Also, Vikings are never bad either. Which you'll have as well, because you've been making them earlier in the game.
Enemy assaulting probes.
Let me out!
I am here in the shadows. Cold is the void. We are one. You require
I almost sometimes think it's a baby crying in the background for a second or something. It's like, nah.
Just wants attention.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Siravek, Cryor. Research. Anan Porkal. Engaging the enemy.
The hardest thing about the drop too. Do you know how to do a carpet bomb drop, really fast?
Bomb drop? What is that?
Okay, I'm gonna pause it. I'm just gonna explain it. So I don't want to distract you while you're trying to build.
Mm-hmm.
So a carpet bomb drop, what it is when you move into my base, visualize yourself having the medevac selected, right clicking into my mineral line or something, or like towards where you want to go, hitting boost so it goes there fast. That's all super simple. But then tell your medevac as soon as you're getting over the mineral line to drop, like hit the drop hotkey, which is like D for drop. But do not click the ground. Instead, click on the actual medevac itself in the middle of the screen.
Oh, okay.
And what it does is it tells the medevac to start unloading cargo as it moves. So it carpet bomb drops all your Marines over the mineral line, and it also drops the Widow Mine as well. So what you can do is as soon as you see that Widow Mine drop, because then you don't have to select the medevac anymore. Once you see that window mine drop, you click it really fast and you burrow it. And then once it's burrowing, you can green box your Marines and like group them up on the side of the mineral line and start just mowing down probes.
Okay.
All right. So that's something to practice too. That's just a little bit of micro technique right there. But that's the whole concept of the build is you don't actually, if you kill like anything, that's wonderful. The main thing it does though is it scouts and you want to slow down the Protoss so that your timing does more damage. The more probes you kill, the higher percent chance your timing is going to win the game.
Cool.
All right. All right, here we go.
Game resumed.
Additional supply depots required.
State that.
Additional supply depots required. Complete.
Oh boy, you got the boys in here.
I got the SCVs.
Yeah, I would say try to evacuate if you can. Oh no.
Oh man.
You're gonna build a base in my base, dude. You're gonna relocate.
You putting this on YouTube?
It's all good, dude. No worries. You're immortalized as the SCV guy now. It's all good, dude.
I'm like thinking about too many things at once.
Yeah. No, for like I will say it's very overwhelming. So I'm trying not to talk to you as much as possible so you can focus. It'll take some time to practice.
No.
I am here in the shadows. New technology research. Engaging the enemy.
Additional supply depots required. Research complete.
All right. Okay.
Command center upgrade
Cluster
complete.
expended. I am here in the shadows.
Not enough room. Additional supply depots required.
Didn't go that bad. I mean, ideally, the Marines wouldn't be there at all because the Marines just got fucking eaten alive by the Colossus. But I know the drop got all messed up. But
Yeah, it was
yeah.
muscle memory.
Yeah.
I ever let Marines.
Like if you get a little bit faster at that timing, my army, you would have just ran it over. Because just the Marauder Viking combo punches through the fucking Colossus so hard. And if you can, if you have, if you're feeling confident, one of the best things you can do as well is try to micro it in a way where you focus. If the Colossus are ever in range of your Marauder, just try and focus fire them. If you can actually just wipe out the Colossus super fast, it takes so much DPS out of my army. And then if you actually do kill the Colossus, land your Vikings. And then have them finish off the rest of the gateway units with your Marauder.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's part of these little polishing.
Yeah. But for like a standard build, you literally almost killed me right there. Like imagine if you just like clean it up and do a more efficient timing of everything. And imagine if you slow me down a little bit with like the Widowmine drop with Marine in the early part.
So would you rally your guys over to the base or just keep them home?
Just one timing. You should like only if you do a ton of damage should you do more timings. But if you keep doing timing after timing, there's a chance you might throw more armies away.
Gotcha.
Actually, you're fucking me up again right now. Like this build just fucking murders Protoss.
So in this case, like if you're attacking them near shield batteries, do you push through or do you attack them?
It's a judgment call. If you feel like you have enough, you can push through. But like right there, I would say your army started slowly bleeding out because you weren't like popping a unit every second. You were over DPSing the battery, so probably back up.
Gotcha.
Like if units aren't dying anymore when you're fighting near a battery, you should back up for sure. Okay. And then now, as I was saying before, you couldn't hear me because I muted myself for it, but I'll tell you now. Once it starts going to the carrier phase, which is what it's starting to go into now, if you're finding yourself like trying to fight Protoss with carrier now, a great thing you can do is obviously just make a ton of Marines. Maybe add it in Marine Marauder as well for the Colossus that I have until they're dead, but if you add in some Widow Mines or some Ghost, either one is great. I would say Ghost would probably be better, and the reason why is because it can also deal with High Templar. And I imagine when you deal with carrier, you probably also have to deal with Storm. It's probably often like very common.
Yeah.
But if you just get some Ghost, all you got to do is EMP your Marines and EMP the Templar. Do not EMP the carrier themselves. Just EMP on top of where the interceptors are. Try not to hit your Ghost though, because you'll EMP yourself and you'll lose energy for your Ghost too if you do that. But just EMP over the Marine and EMP over the Templar if they're there. And always scan first before you take the fight. Because you'll see if there are or if there aren't Templar.
Okay.
But if you have enough Marines and you just EMP the interceptors, you'll actually just destroy them. Hi ViBE, yo, what's up everybody? Sorry guys, I am doing a coaching lesson right now, so I know I'm not talking to chat a whole lot. But I appreciate all you guys very much. Thanks for hanging out.
5SD baby.
Prawn Light, thank you so much for the 4-month sub, dude. Hell yeah. 5SD baby. Hell yeah, dude.
Mineral field depleted. You require my skin. Pylon under assault.
So on this one now, I would say only because you have mostly Marauder here and you saw Carrier, this one you'd probably want to back up on. And what you'd want to do instead is you would want to do maybe attack my base in a different angle. Because if you're still on mass Marauder when I have Carrier, it's going to become way scarier. And your army was definitely a heavy Marauder there. So if you would have, let's say you back, like you scanned ahead before you took the fight and you saw, oh, you got carrier. What if you instead split your army into like 2 clumps of half? Because you saw it's carrier versus marauder now, and half your army goes down and kills my base where my army is not, like let's say the bottom side of the map. And then as soon as I go down there to defend it, the other half of your army waits on the top side, and as soon as you see I'm out of position now defending the bottom, you then attack the top. And you might lose all your marauders that way doing that, but it buys you time to do it, because you make me bounce around my base to defend over and over, and you also kill my economy while doing that. So it creates a situation where now you can turn the game around, where now you have a better economy and now a real composition that can deal with carrier, rather than taking a fight against carrier with marauders straight up in my face.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah, it just buys you, really what it does is it buys you time and it fucks me over at the same time. And marauders, even though they're bad at fighting carrier, they are really good at killing Nexus.
So in that case, would you like the bottom side, or would you like drop his main?
You could do either one, just multi-prong it. Like always try to pull me around my base. Because because carriers are what you call a death ball army, which means it's high supply, high density supply that is not the fastest in the game. It's not like a super quick unit. So my army is becoming a godlike army in like 1 fight at a time, but I can't be, like my mobility now kind of sucks. Like I'm not going to have like 2 carriers at each base, you know what I mean? I'm probably going to have like 10 carriers at one base, and every other base is going to be a little bit undefended unless I happen to catch you at the right base at the right time. So mobility is on your side because marauders are super fast with stim pack. And same thing with medevac boost. And then upgrades wise too, this is going to be a bit of a one-sided fight only because I see your upgrades are 1-2. And right now, my ground units are 3-3, and my area is about to be level 3 as well. So
Okay.
if you notice your upgrades are just massively outnumbered here, it's gonna be one of those fights where it's just gonna feel like it's gonna go one-sided. So to take a real fight against this, the best thing you could do would be obviously like getting better upgrades as soon as you could, but you'd have 2 choices. Again, one would be blanketing EMPs over my interceptors all over the place and just like wiping them out super fast, and having enough Marines. And I would say that honestly, that's not enough Marines. If I had to guess your supply right now in that army, I would say you're probably at like 150 or like 160, because that army does not look the biggest. And then the other way would be if you had like maybe like 12 Widow Mines. So like
12 Widow.
yeah, like either like 12 Widow Mines to like initially blow up a bunch of my interceptors and then overpower the carriers after. Or if you had what's it called? Like maybe like 5 Ghost.
Got it. No.
No. So I'll give you I'll give you a chance here. I'm not gonna fight you right now. I'll let you build up the big boy army. I'm gonna give you these units here because you'll see them. I'm gonna walk them at you. You can kill them. But try doing the ghost side, okay? So I would say don't take the fight yet. Because my army is still fucking scary, the actual carrier side of it. Try making some ghost, and make like 5 ghost, maybe like 5 or 6, whatever works. Just like a good healthy amount of like at least 5. And then add them into their own control group, I would say. Maybe don't put them in your bio group. Maybe put them in like group 2 and your bio and all, like everything else in group 1. Because you just want Stimpack to be the priority.
Okay.
And then try and take a fight with me with that. And I'll give you an idea how it should go. Like before you take the fight, I'll kind of like walk you through what you should do and step by step, and then you try and do it. And then this will be the final fight of like if the game got to this stage where it's like now it's just fucking in game.
Mineral
cluster expended.
Mineral
Let us proceed.
All right.
How are your upgrades looking?
There. I'm just waiting for my last one to finish.
Okay.
All right, so I got 5 ghosts right
Okay.
now.
And right now I have 5 High Templar, and then all carrier.
All right, so I'm walking towards there right now.
So you can send like 1 Marine forward like you were doing before. That'd be totally fine. You just want to see where I am, or if you have a bunch of scan energy, you can scan looking where you're about to be, like where my base is. And if you find me, now you know where I am. So now that you know where I am, you want to keep track of that, and you want to take the fight in the best way possible. And one of the best ways you can do this fight would be, you can initiate the fight, that's fine, but do not stay in range of where my Templars would cast unless you have 100% confidence you're going to blanket an EMP over my Templar before they hit your bio. So like if you think that the Templar are going to storm you first, maybe take your bio army control group and back up for a second, and then as you're backing up, switch over to your ghost control group and try to EMP, and then as soon as you EMP, go back to your bio control group and hit a move forward again with like stim pack on again.
All right, I'm gonna butcher that, but I'll try it.
All right, here. You know what? I'm not try this. We'll do 2 stages of this, okay? Because we'll use the storm for the second stage. First stage will just be just carriers. On this one, all you got to do is make sure your ghosts are not in the front line of your army. And as my interceptors are starting to attack you, I want you to EMP your bio, and I want you to EMP your bio at a pace that's like this: EMP, 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 like about every like 1.5 to 2 seconds. So don't go like 4 of them at once. Just be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And meanwhile, your bio is just impact A moving, and they'll just, you'll just watch interceptors die essentially.
Wait, so I'm EMPing the interceptors,
bio,
or
yeah, your bio, because that's where my interceptors will be.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because you want to just kill my interceptors super fast. And what's your supply right now? Just out of curiosity.
I'm at max right now.
Okay, what's your worker supply at?
77.
Okay, all right, let's do this. I'm coming right now. Just ready to EMP your bio, and then make sure you stim pack right away too.
No.
Yeah, you just panic and threw them all out. It's okay. But my interceptors are kind of thinning out pretty fast. Like if you would have done it EMPs a little bit more efficiently, like I lost all my interceptors right there, and now all my carriers are dead weight. They're all like fucking paperweights now, and you can kill them all. So imagine if you'd have done that a little bit more efficiently right off the bat.
Cool.
And then if we were to do it again, now you'd have to worry about the Templar too. I'll give you, so you could totally win that. Like even though you kind of made a mistake there, you still won the fight. Like it would just be you capitalizing now with like a parade push and chasing down and like killing my economy, because it takes a fucking long time for carriers to replace interceptors. Like it takes like a full like minute and 10 seconds or so to like fully replenish a carrier, or like minute 30 or some shit. It's not what's 9 times 8? That's 72. It takes 72 seconds.
Okay.
Mineral cluster expended.
All right, just tell me when you're maxed out again, and we'll do one more fight. And this time it'll be with what's it called? It'll be with Templar 2. So then this one you'd want to scan, and you still want to EMP your bio, just like you just did, but you also want to try your best and land 2 EMPs on my Templar. Because the reason why is Templar, every unit in the game with energy has 200, and EMP only removes 100 energy at a time.
Okay.
And a storm only costs 75. So if you only hit me with 1 EMP, then you're gonna get fucked. There'll be 5 storms. And if you ever fuck it up and you ever see that, if you just know, ah shit, I'm not hitting the EMP and he's getting real close, I'm gonna die, totally just back up.
Next to carriers, Andy needs help with the ladies. Any pointers you could give?
Oh my god, dude.
Okay. I'm here.
Fucking Raven.
We are focused. We shall stand.
All right, so your whole army's ready to go?
Mhm.
All right, I need like 8, 10, 15 seconds, because I actually forgot to get storm, and I'm current boosting it right now. It's almost done.
So wait, I stim first and then EMP, try to get 2 TMPs off on the Templars, and then EMP the interceptors.
Yep.
Or, yeah.
So you're the way you micro should be scan, so you see the whole fight. You don't want to ever be like blind, so you know what you're looking at. And then you immediately stim pack your bio and you A move forward into my carrier, and then you immediately control the ghost and you move command forward to be in range to EMP the Templar, and then you want to throw out periodic EMPs on top of your Marines that are getting shot by the carrier. So it's including what you just did a second ago, the idea of it, and then also throwing just 2 EMPs at the clump of my Templar. And it's going to be a lot harder to micro, but once you get it down, it's very realistic at killing carrier ghost, or a carrier Templar with ghost bio.
So say they didn't go carriers and they went like Colossus, like a heavy ball Colossus and like Immortals and all that. Are you ever getting what do you call it?
Liberator, Battlecruiser.
Liberator.
Liberator good. Yeah, Liberator's not so good against carrier, but it's really good against Robo specifically. That's super nice. You like if you're fighting against Colossus, you could totally go like Marauder Viking like you did earlier, and just keep Vikings in your army, like up to like maybe like 10 or 12 of them. And if it was like Disruptor, Immortal, Stalker, something like that, Archon, you could totally just forego Viking and just go straight Liberator. That'd be fine.
Would you still get Ghost in that case, or
you could Ghosts are always good against Protoss, because EMP does like damage to the entire army because it rips off shields.
Would you research the
always,
thing or make
always. That is a mandatory upgrade. So if you don't have it now as well, you definitely should have gotten it. All right. Are you ready to attempt?
I am ready.
Okay, I'm coming, dude. Go and scan me so you see me, and then try your best to micro it. Here we go, dude. Good luck. The storms are coming. So that one, you had your ghost way too far in the back for too long. That's all it was. It's just know it always you can always feel free as well to back up if you need to. Like you want to just make sure, like you know what? Make one more ghost really fast. Just make one more ghost really fast. I want to show you something. And I want you to send the ghost like to the middle of the map almost.
Okay.
I just want to show you a range check, okay? Alright, I'm like in the middle of your territory in the snow with the Templar.
Hey. Coming up.
Sure? You can see me at the command center.
Okay, so you want to just EMP you?
No, yeah. I just want to show you like how far it goes. So don't do it yet. Don't do it right away. So now back up for just a second, and now I'm gonna bring my observer over so I can actually see you properly too. But I can storm you all the way from right. Like my storm will hit you directly on top of your ghost if I cast it right. Have your ghost hold position for just a second, and then if I cast storm from right here, right now, this is right there, like right there. That is the storm range. From there to the ghost of the Templar, I can cast a storm directly on top of your ghost right now. So that's about how far it would be. But now, if you hit V or not V, sorry, whatever your EMP hotkey is, mine's V, but I don't know what yours is. Okay, but if you just select it, but don't use it, but just have your mouse being like I'm ready to EMP, you can see the range check, and yours should be longer than mine.
And slide. About here, let's say.
So is that now? Now, if you look at it, put the center of where the the center of like the spell, put it on the edge of the like checkered white radius checker. And am I heavily within the circle of like the ability spellcast on your EMP?
Yeah, your circle, you're like just within it.
Okay.
Like touching here. And then my thing in the middle, so.
Because like if you actually Like for instance, I could hit you with the storm even from right here right now. If I just cast, or from right there. If I just casted it on the very edge of range, the very edge of my storm with the circle radius that goes even deeper outside of it could hit you.
Mhm.
So you could probably even still hit me from right now where I am right now with an EMP.
If I try.
Yeah, go for it. Just you don't even have to EMP directly on top of me. Just as long as my unit is flashing red when you cast it, on the edge of the radius, it'll still hit me. Okay, and now here's what I want you to do. I want you to scan where I am right now, and then I want you to time it. And I like, for instance, like I'm gonna, like put your ghost behind the command center, like where your SCVs are, and I'm gonna, and then when you're ready, tell me, and you can scan, and I'll walk towards you, and you can try to EMP me to where you'll catch me max range. This is something you have to practice, but you can 100% EMP further than storm can be cast if you get good at timing this. And because it's a projectile and it also has larger radius. All right, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna go right now.
We are unanimous.
He missed.
Yeah, so just make sure too. It's like a live update thing, so you don't have to cast it once and just let it be. You can cast it like 30 times, or 20 times, or 15 times, and then as soon as it finally does cast it, that's fine. So like you just want to like, but when you get really good at it, you won't even need to cast it. You can just move command your dude a lot, and then as soon as you know you're within range of where you want to be, you can throw an EMP on me. But you should be casting EMP from about as far as you are like right now. Like this distance we have between us right now, this is about how far you want to be throwing your EMP out. Because if you let me get, like I would say this is comfortable territory for you like right now. This range is good for you. This range is bad for you. And anything closer than this is even worse. Like this is good. Yeah, like you want to, the range this represents is probably about like 9 or 10. This is good for you. Because here's the big thing is I can feedback you too. And like for instance, if you look at a ghost now, like since you have 2 of them, I'll just do it really fast. I can EMP you from really fucking far away. And if I EMP you, that's just as bad. So you can grab a different ghost really fast and try one more time to EMP me. And you can bring your other ghost to where your current one is, and I'll just kind of walk around in range. Perfect. You have a lot of ghosts. All right, so I'm going in, and I'll tell you this. I'll be like, I'll go good, bad. I'll give you like a fucking radar indicator, okay? So you can scan me again, and I'll just do it. Good, bad, good, bad. You definitely don't want to let me. You want to always be backing up if I'm running at you for sure. Like if you run at me while I run at you, it's bad. All right, so we'll do one more time. So whenever you're ready, scan. All right, good, bad, good job. That was good. Do it like that more often. And then as soon as you land your EMP, then you fucking engage. So like you can engage initially with your bio to bait me forward, and then you back up with your bio, you EMP, and then you go forward again with your Marines. That's what I was talking about when I was like maybe engage, then back up, then go. Because if you just stay back the whole time, Perdos is never going to be like, well, I want to EMP you now. Or sorry, I want to storm you now, because they're just going to get EMP'd. So if you just bait it and you're like, I'm attacking you, and then as the Templar start to go into that good, bad range, you don't let it get to that point. You back up before it's bad, and you then rotate your ghost into EMP, and then once you see, oh, Templar are all fucking depleted, now I go. It's harder to do, takes some practice, but that's how you got to do it.
Okay, yeah. I totally haven't been doing that. I'm just like a move instant pack and then
Yeah,
trying to get at you.
if you do that, you will get fucking eaten alive by storm. All right, man. Any other questions before we wrap it up?
Nah, that's a lot to take in. I definitely a lot of practice. But yeah, thanks for your time, man. I really do appreciate it.
No worries. And your buddy Ravens First Rex told me to give you some tips for the women, the ladies.
Oh.
And just be yourself, dude. Just be yourself, man. It's okay. If a girl doesn't like you being yourself, it's not the right one anyways. It's okay.
Cool. Love it.
All right, dude. Well, I'll post this as a VOD. I would highly recommend you save the 2 AI examples I gave you, just so you have guides and references to, like, in case you forget the build, you can go back and look at it again, so you don't like lose your way essentially. But
Sweet.
I'll make this a VOD. I'll have it posted to you on Discord by tomorrow, and like our private call we have going here. And then yeah, man, good luck. And if you have any other questions, by all means, feel free to stop into the stream and ask away. And yeah, good luck, dude.
Thank you. Take care.
All right, man. Take it easy. Have a good rest of your day.
You too.
All right, see ya.
See ya.
All right, Raven Source Rex as well. Michael, right? I'm not getting that wrong. Thank you very much for the for setting it up too, dude. Much appreciated. Andy, good shit. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you had a good time. And yeah, guys, thank you for hanging out. I hope you guys enjoyed the lesson. Thank you guys for the support during the lesson. Appreciate you very much. If you guys liked it, go check out more on the YouTube channel. I have lots more lessons posted out there. All kinds of content to help you guys learn how to play StarCraft better if that's your goal. So, good luck. Thanks for hanging out. I will see you guys in the next one. And until next time, stay healthy, stay happy, take it easy, and peace, guys. See ya.